Okay, this is another one of my video diaries that I had to make real quick because I'm having such a hard moment right now. I'm definitely trying to stay positive and just be, I don't know. But many people know, everybody knows that I have 9 children and that I've been a mother since I was 14 and a wife. And I've gone through so much over the years, and I've been so blessed to overcome so much over the years. And because of all the things that I overcome, I try to look at every situation differently in a positive way, and look at the lesson in every storm, and look at the lesson in every tragedy, and look at the meaning of it and what it is that God is trying to show me or teach me or tell me. And so lately it's been like lesson after lesson after lesson. And so today, well, this week alone has been like extremely trying and extremely hard for me. Like, oh my gosh, just, I can't even begin. I'm just trying to keep it together. You know, recently everybody knows that I lost my baby, Sophie. It was my dog, and she was my baby, and she was 4 years old. And on top of that then I lost my boss, Derek Jones, which was my friend and my teacher as well. And so in all of this, I mean, just really trying to I don't know. I'm trying to find words now without breaking down this video. Let me just break down like everything in just this past week. So I have been really trying to like dedicate myself to my kids and be home a lot more and do things for them and just make sure that they have everything that they need and everything that they want. And lately it's been harder than ever. You know, it's 9 children plus, and so and then doing everything by myself without the help of any of their fathers is just extremely hard, you know. And so this week, not even just this week, let's just say yesterday, I woke up and I was blessed, but I was just feeling like extremely down. And I made a post on Facebook about how down I was and please pray for me and things like that. And so in my post, after my post, I went to take my daughter to pre-op, Miss Caden, because she was having surgery. And as I get ready to take her, I see it's a note on the door from a detective. So long story short, there was a warrant for my arrest because I missed the court date, which I had unfortunately had the wrong date in my calendar for. And the court date is for, because I'm being charged with 4 counts of not sending my child to school. And that's my oldest child, and my oldest, and he's in high school, and he had he had his wrist broken in 2 different places this year, and he had the same hand broken. So he's had a rough year. And although he actually did go to school, because he was late so many times, and on the days that he did miss school, it was like the percentile of the time he's supposed to be in school, or the percentile of a child supposed to be in school, was not met. So that's why they charged me with 4 counts of not sending my child to school. Not that I just did not send him, but because he was late for school, and because he was sick and had broken bones and could not go to school and had a doctor's note, they're taking me to court. So anyway, so yesterday as I come back from pre-op, I see the card. I call the lady. She tells me there's a warrant. So I call my mom, well, text my mom, and my mom's like, I'm on my way. I love you so much for that, Ma, because you're like my superhero, and I love you so much for the support and the love that you give me and my kids. And so she comes down, she takes me to the jail, I turn myself in. Of course, the detective's like, oh, you're just going to get, you know, a new court date. You're going to process you. You'll be out in like an hour. Of course, I get in there, and there's two $5,000 cash bonds on each charge. Well, on two charges. And so, long story short, my other superhero, my baby brother, my baby big brother, Javon, you know, took care of everything and got me out. And so I came home last night after being in there all day, not having anything to eat, because I didn't eat yesterday morning because I was so busy rushing to take my daughter to the pre-op appointment. So, you know, and then when I came back, I had to make sure they had dinner and all that kind of stuff just to make sure everybody was good before I went. So I come back, I get home, and I say, let me clean. I start cleaning, and my air conditioning unit isn't working. So the house is like extremely uncomfortable and muggy and sticky and hot, and it's just so uncomfortable. So I'm like, let me just start cleaning. So I start cleaning, and my dryer breaks in the middle of drying some clothes. So I try to just like tuck that and say, okay, let me just try to hang them out. So so many other things happen. I'm not even gonna go through everything, but so many other things happen. And so that was yesterday. And so I didn't go to sleep last night because I just could not sleep. Just so much on my mind and my heart, and you know, going through all of these things that I'm going through, on top of like I'm struggling so much right now to pay the bills, to, you know, just survive, to feed the kids. Just everything is a struggle right now, and it's hard. It's mostly hard because it's my struggle, and it's just me. Like, you know, I'm blessed that I was able to call on my little brother yesterday, but I know that, you know, he got his own, you know, family and things he had to take care of, and, you know, so I know that was hard, you know. And so even today, as I sit here in this car, I took Kaden to her appointment this morning to go have surgery, and thankfully everything went good. And as she was in surgery, I left the hospital and went to my job for a meeting so that I could be there to support everyone, you know. And then once the meeting was over, I went back to the hospital, picked up Kaden, took her home, and went through that struggle because, of course, she's very, very vulnerable and upset and angry and just feeling crazy right now because she's coming off the medication and she just had surgery. And so as I leave, I come to try to figure out how can I get some food, get dinner for the kids, and blah blah blah. And so as I'm trying to figure that out, I'm just sitting in my car, and my my supervisor calls me to tell me that HR just called him and that I may be suspended from work until I go to court and they find out what the outcome will be for me being arrested yesterday for the not sending my child to school thing. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I'm already struggling like I don't know what. I don't even know where the money for dinner is coming from. However, now I may not have a job because Howard County decided to take me to court for committing a crime now of not sending my child to school when he was in school, but because he was in school and late for school and missed some days because he had a broken hand. Mind you, let me add this. When my son first broke his hand, I took him to Howard County General Hospital. They sent him home and told him that everything was okay, that it might have been a small fracture, hairline fracture. Didn't give him pain medicine or anything. So I took him home, and of course, over the course of a week or so, he was in so much pain that I said, no, I need to take him to another hospital. So I took him to Baltimore City to Johns Hopkins Hospital, where they found that he had a break in his hand. He had the cast on for 30 days. They cast it, took the cast off, and realized that it had not healed at all, and it was broken in 2 places, not 1. Now, mind you, Howard County said it wasn't broken at all. So he had a cast again for 30 days, and when he got it taken off, he still couldn't really fully function with his wrist. And then about 2 months later, he was at a party where a boy tried to assault him, and he got into a fight, and he broke his hand, the same hand. So I don't know. I just had to vent to the world. It's one thing to vent to one person, and tell one person how you feel. And it's one thing to vent to like one person and then everybody, that person just sit there and give you their whole feedback. But I like to know like how the world feels. Like, we live in a very crazy society. I just said to my supervisor, one thing I can say about myself, and I'm not one to just be like, oh, I'm all this or I'm all that. But one thing I can say about myself is that I am a real mother. There are a lot of girls, a lot of women out here in this world that are not mothers. But I am a real mother. Like, being a mother is my number one priority. Being a mother is the reason why I even exist. Like, a lot of people don't know this about me, and I'll share with the world because I don't have no shame in my game. But a couple years ago, I attempted suicide. And I attempted suicide because the pain I felt inside was so great that I felt like there's no way I could go on with my life. There's no way I could continue on. I just could not do it. And when I woke up in that hospital and I saw my mom, my dad, my brothers, everybody around me, I was very quiet and I just took it all in. I got home from the hospital, and when I walked in the door, my kids all greeted me like, Mommy, it was at that moment that I realized that my life is not just my life. My life is my mother's life. My life is my father's life. My life is my children's life. They all depend on me to be here. Because if I'm not here, then their lives change in a dramatic way. And I'm saying all that to say that I don't live every day for me. I live every day for them. So I'm a real mother. And being a mother means more to me than anything in this world. So to take me to court and say that I'm not doing my job as a parent and charge me with something that's insane, like not sending my child to school, tells us about our society. I'm at my kids' school more than I'm at work. I'm very proud of myself right now because I got through this whole video without crying. But this is one of my video diaries for myself and for other mothers, for women, and for anybody who may be going through something really hard right now in their life. And it could be today on July the 10th, 2014 that you watch this video and you're like feeling however you feel about what I said. You could relate, you can't relate, you can understand, you can't understand, you may feel judge me, whatever. But I know that I'm making this, I pray that I'm able to look back on this video and think, wow, I made it through that. I made it through that day. That day when I was sitting in my car on Route 1 and 175, feeling like lost and angry, confused, and just trying to figure out what my next step would truly be. I want to be able to look back and watch this video and think, I made it. And if God blesses me to do that, and if you're watching this video, and I'm talking to myself now, y'all can think I'm crazy and I don't care, but if you're watching this video now and it's months or a year later or 2 years later, smile and know that even if you're going through something at that moment, that you can make it through, because you made it through this. Because if I make it through this, Lord knows I've been through worse things, harder things, but if I make it through this, Lord, then I'm sure I can make it through anything else. So, for those people who actually watch this, because this is a 15-minute video, and I know it's long, and half the people probably was like, girl, I ain't nobody got time to hear that. You know, it ain't for you anyway. It wasn't for those people anyway who decided to stop watching it at whatever time, because, you know, God intends for things to be for certain people for, you know, certain reasons, and I'm sure that this message ain't for everybody. But, in all, you know, if you know me, you love me, you care about me, even if you don't know me, please take the time out and say a nice, strong prayer for me and my children, because I need it. Have a good day.